my screen visible? Is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So hello everyone, good afternoon. Today we shall have a look at the compensation scheme for women victims, survivors of sexual assault and other crimes of 2018. First things first, we need to know who proposed this scheme. So the scheme was formulated by NALSA, stands for National Legal Services Authority. The main purpose of whose is to make sure that justice is not denied to the weaker sections of the society because of to the weaker section and to the people who are economically weak. So it organizes lok adalat and all of that to ensure justice to everybody. So this scheme was formulated by NALSA and it was approved by Supreme Court. It was a two-judge bench headed by Justice Madan B. Lokur and Justice Deepak Gupta. The purpose of the scheme is to provide compensation to women victims. It actually sets a minimum rate of compensation that state and union territories shall provide to women victims of crime. However, if the state and union territories wish to pay more and provide more, they are free to do so. So there's no exhaustive limit. They can actually pay more also. So why was the scheme ever needed? So of course, there was compensation scheme that were given to women, to men, to everybody, but then these were all within the discretionary power of the state. These were all localized, so the state compensation schemes was applied, and of course it varied. The amount that were given used to vary from state to state. So, for example, the state like Odisha grants a petty amount of 10,000 to rape survivors, and then Goa provides 10 lakh for the same. So, of course, there was a lot of non-uniformity existing in that area. In order to remove this non-uniformity, a uniform compensation scheme definitely was the need of the hour. Following this, in Nipun Saxena versus the Union of India, Supreme Court suggested NALSA to rather set up a committee who would help them draft a rule for this compensation scheme, following which the committee drafted the scheme, and having heard the amicus curiae for the same, Supreme Court then directed for a pan-India implementation of this particular scheme. Now, who all are eligible for this compensation? Obviously, a woman victim, and in case if she dies, then her dependents. Well, now, who is the dependent? It includes husband, father, mother, grandparents, unmarried daughter, or minor children of the victim. Who is a woman victim? Then it is she who has suffered from any kind of physical or mental injury as a result of any offense as mentioned in the schedule. So there's a schedule attached to this particular scheme, which we shall have a look at a later period of time in this particular presentation only, and including sections 304B that stands for dowry death, 326A that is acid attack, and 498A IPC that is cruelty meted out to the woman by her husband and her marital family. So all those who have suffered any kind of physical or mental injury, they can claim compensation. Some of the salient features of the scheme, first of all, there is a woman victim compensation fund. The amount of compensation that is to be given to the women victims shall be decided by the State Legal Services Authority or District Legal Services Authority, as the case may be. The same shall be given to the victim or her dependent out of this fund, which is called Women Victims Compensation Fund. So this is a fund which is segregated to compensate women victim out of the State Victim Compensation Fund and the Central Fund. Secondly, how to file an application or to avail a compensation in this scheme. So first of all, there shall be a mandatory reporting of FIR. Once the FIR is registered, and it turns out that the offense is of any of the nature, as in acid attack, sexual harassment, stalking, rape, dowry death, or cruelty to women, then it becomes mandatory for the police to grant a copy of FIR to the competent authority so that they can begin verification of the facts and proceed with granting of compensation to them. In case even if there is no registration of FIR, the victim or her dependents can also file a separate application, and then State Legal Services Authority or District Legal Services Authority can prima facie look into the case and decide whether to grant a compensation or not. Now, what are the factors that are to be considered while awarding compensation? Obviously, compensation cannot be granted in arbitrary fashion, no, without any criteria. So there's this criteria that has been provided in order to determine as to what would be the amount of compensation. So first of all, it looks at the gravity of the offense, what kind of pain that particular person went through, the expenses that might have incurred from any kind of medical treatment, counseling, or funeral, if in case if she dies, in case any education opportunity that she might have lost because of the offense, employment opportunity that she might have lost, then relationship of the victim to the offender, whether the abuse was a single isolated incident or did it take place over a period of time. Another criteria is to see whether victim became pregnant, and if she gave birth to a child because of the offense, it includes, then the compensation would also include the rehabilitation needs of such child. This then next is whether she contracted a sexually transmitted disease, whether she became a victim of HIV, any disability suffered by her, the financial condition of the victim, to make sure what is her rehabilitation need, and in case if she dies, then her future prospects, her growth prospects is also taken into concern to decide what exactly would be the amount of compensation. Okay, this scheme also grants a interim relief by way of compensation, so they do not have to wait till the case is finally decided on the merits and then grant them the compensation. State Legal Services Authority or the District Legal Services Authority, as the case may be, may also order for immediate relief to the victim or medical benefits to be made available, which will be free of cost, in order to alleviate her sufferings. But they can only do that in case if they receive certificate of a police officer or a magistrate of the area concerned, or on the application of the victim dependents and suo moto, that is, they can also take the cognizance on their own. On receiving the application, they shall grant a compensation scheme of 5,000 to 10,000 immediately. That is, interim compensation shall be granted to her immediately. So as we talked earlier also, that there is a schedule attached to this particular scheme which prescribes what would be the minimum compensation and what would be the maximum compensation to be given to the women victims. So there are 13 offenses that it lists down. We shall have a look at it one by one. So in case if the victim dies, the minimum compensation ranges from 5 to 10 lakh. In case of rape, the same amount of compensation is given. If she is a victim of gang rape, then minimum amount to 4 lakh and maximum 7 lakh. Unnatural sexual assault also provides compensation similar to that of gang rape. And in case if she has 80% of the permanent disability in the body because of the offense, then compensation would be 2 to 5 lakh. 40 to 80% disability, 2 to 4 lakh. 20 to 40% disability, 1 to 3 lakh. And less than 20% disability, 1 to 2 lakh. In case if she suffers from grievous physical or mental injury, then amount of compensation ranges from 1 to 2 lakh. In case if she loses a fetus, goes through miscarriage, or suffers from any kind of infertility, 2 to 3 lakh. In case of pregnancy on account of rape, 3 to 4 lakh. And in case if she becomes a victim of burning, which leads to total disfigurement of her face, compensation would be 7 to 8 lakh. Injury is more than 50%, then 5 to 8 lakh. Less than 50%, 3 to 7 lakh. Less than 20%, 2 to 3 lakh. In case if she becomes a victim of acid attack, which leads to the total disfigurement of her face, then compensation would be 7 to 8 lakh. Injury is more than 50%, then 5 to 8 lakh. Less than 50%, 3 to 5 lakh. And less than 20%, 3 to 4 lakh. So what do we conclude? So traditionally, the wheel of criminal justice used to said to be complete once the criminal was sent to the prison and he was made to rot in jail throughout his life. But today the scenario have changed. Supreme Court in many of its judgment have actually realized that it is the victim who suffers the most. It is whose life is lost. It is he who loses his honor, who loses his respect, who loses a lot of period of time in suffering from pain and pain because of that particular injury. Therefore, it is no amount of compensation and no amount of sentence to those who have harmed him or her can actually provide for any kind of solace to that particular person. But then monetary compensation can grant some sort of relief, if not all. And therefore Therefore they do not it is not one of those time where the agony and anguish of a victim can be kept at bark. So therefore monetary compensation is definitely needed. Also when it comes down to understand what a woman victim goes through when she becomes a victim of any of the offenses, that has been, as we have already discussed, we also have to see the fact that she suffers from a lot of stigma. She becomes a part of mock and ridicule in the society, because at the end society considers it is the woman who is at fault. And therefore in case if in near future a debate arises as to why there shall be a compensation scheme for women and why not for men, we shall have to consider this disparity that exists in India. So therefore this compensation scheme actually opens a wide amplitude of women's rights in India. So that's about it. Thank you.